we have to stop practicing scales. Don't practice your scales anymore. You should never practice scales. What do I mean? Now, this might strike a nerve with my keyboard warrior audience, but you'll be on my side in a matter of minutes. And before you get offended and challenge me with your entire childhood of piano lessons that you hold near and dear to your heart, just hear me out. Practice is a form of eventuation. Practice is a form of delaying the process further into time. Children learn like 80 to 100 times more faster when they engage in play. So instead of practicing our scales, we need to play our scales. We need to play our scales a lot more than we've been practicing them. And when you do this, you're going to have more fun. You're going to learn faster. And you're going to understand how so many of us got it wrong. Even some of the most talented musicians, man, this is like a form of masochism to them. Even if they love it, there's a side of them that is constantly judging, constantly criticizing. And it's nice to have a critique. It's nice to have discernment with your mind and you can critique what you're doing. But to judge and label everything you do, that's just ruining the enjoyment of music for yourself. And I know people who end up in that headspace even when they have tons of talent and they make beautiful music. So no one is exempt from this state of mind that can corrupt our sense of wonder. So don't let your sense of wonder be corrupted. We're here to make more music, get it out in the world, and become happier in the process. So let's get started. I'm sure you're no stranger, if you've been playing piano a little while, to practicing your scales like this, or at least attempting to. And if you have taken a couple weeks of lessons or months, maybe you go to the next octave. Maybe if you have a serious classical teacher, you do 4 octaves. But why did I mess this up from the first attempt I made? Well, that just is an indication to you how little this actually sinks in, because it's not switching on the part of our brain that's engaging in play. And that's why I was able to fumble, even though that happens to the best of us. I'm just saying there's a clear indication of how sterile and outdated this is. Because if this really turned me on, so to speak, I would have jumped right in. But look what happened. So why does this happen? Well, it's because somewhere deep down, you know that no matter what, this is just an exercise. And it gives us some decent coordination, okay? I'll admit that. But when's the last time you heard a song go like this? When's the last time you heard someone sing a melody like this? I mean, come on. So why do we still do this, even though we've been playing for years? And we still end up in this habit of waking up and practicing this way instead of some other way that's more rewarding. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we make the process suck when this could be so much more fun? We all have limited time here. Why are we delaying the enjoyment process? Why? When we don't have to. I'm here to tell you you don't have to, because I learned a much more enjoyable way of practicing than this, and it got me really good really quickly. And I'm talking months and a couple years time, which isn't that long when you think about it. I'm not talking 10 years at all. So what are our alternatives to practicing in this way? What can we do that's way more enjoyable? Well, first of all, let's identify the problem here. The hands are playing the exact same thing. And sometimes music does that, but I don't think that's the first way someone should learn how to play, because it's not the most enjoyable. The benefits aren't clear or immediate, and you'll just get stuck in your head worrying about fingering. That's not going to make someone interested in or entice someone to play piano if they're not, actively playing all the time. So what's an alternative? Well, in general, your hands should be doing different things. What a concept. So in a lot of music, in a lot of good music, you have melody and then you have a supporting part. Okay. So you have like the storyline and then you have like the supporting aspects to the story. You have the main character, you have the supporting characters. And music works in the same way. So to say that a good practice is like playing the same thing in both hands is like saying it's fine to have a story with 2 main characters going through the same exact thing and never having any relation to each other, and that's supposed to be a good story. No, you can't have a good story with a bunch of careless redundants And that's what this is. This is redundant. We don't need to hear the same thing twice. That's not going to give us an enjoyable practice. Okay, what will give us an enjoyable practice is to learn the most important aspect of music, or one of them at least, which is melody, arguably the most important. You could argue any of them as the most important, but you could definitely argue melody as being the most important aspect of music for many, many reasons. So if we have a melody, which we have to learn how to make a melody, by the way. Another thing that you're not learning when you're just playing scales in a tasteless way, you're not actually learning what melody is. So we have to learn melody. That's one way we play scales, is through melody. And we have to find a way to support the melody so we can hear all of the colors associated with it. So for that reason, our hands do completely different things when we play piano, and that's how it's supposed to be. And eventually, you can work on your coordination and your symmetry. Because, yeah, you want to be ready for a moment where your hands could play anything, and they could play the same thing. And I get that. But that's not where you start a beginner. Just don't even go there. Forget it. It's outdated. Okay, so your left hand should start with a bass line, right? Because this is bass, right? These are all bass notes. So we should use them the way they were made to be used, creating a bass line, right? What a concept. So right hand plays a melody, left hand plays a bass line, or supporting chords. Makes sense. So this doesn't have to be really hard. You can do this without any piano experience whatsoever if you give it enough of an effort. Some people think it's out of their wheelhouse because they see me taking it further, and I'm like, but don't you understand? Like, I'm showing you what's possible based on a very simple principle. Don't immediately jump to what I'm doing. I think that's like a limbic primitive reaction that we have to reason ourselves out of trying something because we see someone good at something and it puts us in a state of like negative awe, and then we don't even try. It's what you get out of an experience is truly subjective in every single situation. Like, you could see someone playing an amazing piano and you could be like, oh, screw that. No way. I'm not doing that. Or you could be like, well, how did this person get there? Clearly they must have a way of doing this that allowed them to build and get to where they are. Clearly it didn't happen by accident. So remove the emotional reaction from when you see me play something fancy, because I'm just showing you like the upper ends of what's possible based on a very simple principle, which is our right hand plays a simple family of notes, which, yeah, you have to memorize, but okay. You can memorize 7 notes, guys. I know you can do that. I know that you can go da 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 da. Can you do that with me? Da 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 da. And okay, next octave. Da 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 da. If you can do that, you can play. You can learn to play. Just do that, okay? Da 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 da. And then you talk to people who are like, well, I know these scales, but I don't know these scales, and I've been playing like 10 years, and I'm like, I just showed you this in 1 minute, and then maybe it'll take you a maximum of 5 minutes to reproduce that. And you're telling me that you're having trouble with your scales? My friends, that doesn't mean scales are hard. That means no one ever showed you how to actually do this and have fun doing it. And so you never even got off the ground. You never even got the ball rolling. And it's not your fault. I'm not making a judgment. I'm just saying it's not your fault because no one showed you how to have fun here. And if there's one thing that I can do for you since you found my world, it's to help you have fun with this. I'm very sorry that you've gone your entire life up to this point and no one showed you a way to make this more enjoyable. And for that reason, you delayed learning the building blocks for years and years, and you've had nothing to build on. That breaks my heart. I don't want it to be that way. And I'm kind of annoyed. That we've taught this way, that we've kept students in the dark about something so simple. Learn this, and then put this underneath. Okay, here's our 3-note bass line, everybody. We're going to play our scale. We're not going to practice our scale. We are going to play it. You see, music is cyclical. Stuff repeats. Newsflash. Stuff repeats. Stuff repeats. It's music, guys. It's not decimals of pi. It repeats. So once you know these 7 notes of whatever scale you decide to learn, you pick a bass line that uses the notes from your scale. And believe me, I could get way more technical, but I'm just trying to tell you this at a glance so you can get over all of the musical baggage that people have laid upon you. So once you can do this, play the notes of the melody. What am I actually trying to say? Play the notes of the scale, play them out of order, and play them at different times, and you will have melody. Play those notes out of order. That's how you play a scale, okay? Forget practicing. Forget it. Don't do that yet. Just feel it. So there, I was actually changing the bass line to support my melody in different ways, and that's the ultimate goal, okay? So first we'll play a melody over a repeating bass line, and then you can start changing these notes as well, and that's music. That's the journey. It's not any more complicated than that, really. Everything complicated that can be done is an outgrowth or an iteration of that. And I think when you know that, the whole journey of learning how to play becomes a lot more accessible, a lot more enjoyable. And you stop comparing yourself to people. You stop, judging yourself and other people. And you just explore your inner landscape of music. That's all we are meant to do, really. And then we can play other people's music a lot better when we can do that for ourselves. So if you found this video helpful, you can join the Piano Dojo community. We meet every week to practice together. Play. And share our music, meditate, and learn the process of making music and becoming a better musician. So if that interests you, come check out the program by watching my webinar, which you can find in the link below. And I'll see you on the inside. Peace.